Happened? Did I necessarily think that this go around they may go in other directions? Yeah. And I was excited that I didn't have to make that final decision.
Were you tempted by other teams? I know there was a couple of.
I had probably this more than any time in my career. I had probably the most interest from other teams, and it was probably in the same regards that they have a need for the same role and need for the same type thing, and that it might not be here.
What was it like getting in Salty the second half of the season?
Good. I think even with my my foot and stuff, that it allowed some opportunity to do our drills and do those things and have a start. So it was good, real good.
Jason, did it ever get to a point where you took offers from other teams, or were you still trying to get things straightened out here first before you got to that point?
Well, I mean, there was just things going on. I mean, I don't really want to get into too much detail, but there was interest. So, but I didn't have to do what I didn't have to do to have to make that decision. So it was great.
Is it safe to say that regardless of what happened, you wanted to play next year? Whether it was here or somewhere else, you were going to play next year?
Well, I think that I think I was going to have to make a lot of decisions, and I didn't have to. Like, there's decisions to stay home. There's decisions to, if you want to take that upon, like, to make that change and do those things. So I'm just glad when it came down to it, I didn't have to. But those are things that definitely went on in my corner of trying to figure out what to do.
Jason, how much did you learn about yourself last year in terms of managing your health, managing how Tito was using you, and how much did that help you throughout the year?
It kind of abruptly ended for a long period of time. That was, adapting. Went from played on a consistent backup basis, and then went through stints where I didn't, but it just allowed me different avenues. Like, I was able to maintain and train, and maintain my strength all the way to the last day of the season. So different parts and different roles. It allows me the freedom to be on the bench and see what's going on more than just playing and helping on the field. So it's a little different.
Have you had to work harder now to maintain the level of play that you want to maintain? Off season and whatnot.
I mean, I've been working hard, so more, no. I think that it put me in a better spot. I had less healing time at the end of a season because I wasn't, I could take steps, I could walk downstairs straight. Like, when I do that, I know it's time for me that I'd start to really train and start getting after it. I was doing that after week 1. So there's different levels of that, but I still believe that you don't know what's going to happen. You never know what happens with injuries, etc. So I have to prepare. What I know how to prepare would be to physically and mentally prepare to play every day. But that's not necessarily the case. But physically, that's what I have to do.
Have you had a chance to talk to Kurt Young and go over the staff with him and all that stuff?
No. I officially passed my physical yesterday. So those things will probably really settle down, I would imagine, at the turn of the year.
So a big loss with Farrell gone, or do you think you guys can adapt with Young? Do you know much about Young?
I don't know a whole lot. There's been, yes, John Farrell was very good at what he did, and my end of it, that he was great to work with, game planned, and those things extremely well. He also at time, had to work into that. Like, he put the work in to be that good. It wasn't like that day one he walked in. His communication was great, and those things. Any way we can help, help our new pitching coach, help him learn people, learn situations the best we can, that's where I think I'll have the most impact. Is, you can trade some past history, what actually goes on the field, with our eyesights and those type things. So, and then we'll get into our game planning and all those things, and hopefully by the time we actually get ready for the first series, we have all that nailed down from spring training.
Jason, how coincidental if it is, that Adrian Gonzalez and Carl Crawford are added and you make a return. Did those two type of superstars coming back impact your decision to want to come back here?
Vibrate. Well, mine were just before that. I think that at this point in my career, like, you know, seeing where this organization has been, it wasn't going to impact me that way. I think for where this team needed to go, you can't, numbers, production, and placement in a lineup and those things to be able to get an Adrian, to move you to third, to help fill some of that void that we already, you know, we potentially lose in Victor and Adrian. And I think that we need to take steps to be better. So Carl, to even be better than that, that just allowed us to be kind of where we were. And you had Carl, you had a different dynamic, and you had the most athletic player in the game. And so that's huge to us taking a step. We got long, I mean, it's like, okay, we've got to be better pitching. We have to be better than we were last year. And we have to be better.
What specifically do you think the staff needs to do a little bit better than they did last year?
Just take a step, be better. You know, guys, we had still some youth in taking steps, becoming more experienced, but strike one's commanding the count and dictating what goes on, and then find ways to get the ball to Bard and Pat.